Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. We are now connected to all the channels. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Essence of religion. What is the essence? Religion is your essential nature. You have been endowed, bestowed with all the ingredients that are necessary to become enlightened. Just as when you go and buy the seed, it's not that certain things are infused in the seed. The very nature of the seed is to blossom. But there is a process. Seed first has to be prepared in the well-planted, well-prepared soil. It has to be nourished and nurtured. It has to be planted deep within the womb of the earth. Not that you leave it on the surface or just do it about half inch or so. There is a certain depth that is required by the seed to be planted. The larger the tree, deeper it has to be planted. So the seed that enlightenment is, it has to be planted deep within, where? In your qalb. And when the seed, first it remains under pressure, the pressure of the earth, and then one day it bursts open its outer shell. Outer shell is hard. It protects the space that seed is. But if you open the seed, you will not find anything there tangible which you can call as seed. Take any seed. For instance, you take a seed of a pulse, which has two sides connected to one another. If you try to separate them, it is difficult. There is a process. And that process of separating the two is the process of germinating the seed. You soak it in the water, it gets soft and mellow, and then something begins to sprout in between the two sides of the seed. And then the growth takes place within the womb of the earth. The process that nobody sees what it is happening to the seed when it is in the womb of the earth. There is pressure, there is darkness, There is fear in the seed. What will happen if I leave my present state? I am well protected within the shell that seed has provided. But that is not the destiny of the seed. So the earth provides the seed its protection. It remains hidden within the womb of the earth, nourished and nurtured by the gardener. Then one day the seed sheds its stark modesty and burst open the shores that have protected it. But still the growth is within. Then all of a sudden it gets a tender seed, a seedling has so much energy infused into it. It burst open the surface of the earth to come out, because there is a tremendous desire in the seed now to come in the light. Each seed, each plant wants to be in the light. Such is the destiny of a human being as well. It comes into the light, it is moving towards the light of the sun. There is an affinity between the growth of the seed and the light of the sun. Growth of the seed and the light of the sun. The forests which are very dense, the trees tend to get taller as compared to the forest, the area where the space is available. The tree can get the direct sunlight. It grows in not in height, but in volume. And then growth continues. It has already the entire script written in it. The only thing is this: your fertilizer, your nourishment and care can augment the process, can make the fruit a lot better, a fruit healthier than when it lacks the nourishment. And now we have two arts of growing. One is known as hydroponics, the other is aquaponic. In aquaponic, the water from the fish pond, natural water is used as fertilizer. It nourishes the growth of the tree. The other is hydroponics, where a very rich soil prepared by cocoa peat is used along with the compost manure, and the nourishment goes in a different way. The growth goes on. Something like this happens to a seeker. The light of the awakened one, he gravitates towards that. And it is that light which provides the nourishment to the tree. You have come with all the ingredients to become enlightened. It is your nature. But because of conditionings of the society, conditionings of the religion, you have forgotten this. So, in the process of the growth, the master initiates the disciple. Initiation means you are ready to shed all those conditionings which are in, they seem to be a very safe protection, a safety, a protection, armor. that it will protect you. A Muslim is protected within his armor. Hinduism is an armor. Christianity is an armor. But these armors create the prison and do not allow you the freedom to soar high in the sky. You are to remain within the fold, within the armor. And the growth happens when you have the wings and you can soar high in the sky and talk to the clouds. So enlightenment is your nature, however, because of the conditionings by the religion, by the society, and all other factors, they impede your progress, and you have forgotten this. Education is something very ordinary. Religion will remain religion. It cannot be replaced by another world for the simple reason that it has multidimensional meanings which no other word can have. Education cannot replace the word religion. First of all, religion makes you united within one. All the societies and cultures and religions have made you schizophrenic or split. The essential aspect of religion is that it makes you one. But the opposite has happened. The societies, the culture, the religion have made you schizophrenic and split. They have divided you in parts. You are the good part, the bad part, the light part, the dark part, the higher, the lower, in duality. No one else have explained the duality as the Hindus have done. They have been teaching humanity for centuries that you are not acceptable as you are. I say to you, if someone does not accept you as you are, he is not worth a dime. They are teaching humanity for centuries that you are not acceptable as you are. You have to drop many of your essential parts. Only then you will be acceptable, otherwise you will remain a sinner forever. To become a saint, you have to go on destroying many parts of your being, your nature. Certain things is your nature and you cannot live otherwise. Religion means nothing is to be destroyed, nothing has to be cut out of you. You do not have to be imputed. It is not. When there is an art of growing the plants are grown, the roots are being, the plant from the bottom, the roots are being pruned all the time. So with that, the tree remains dwarf. It does not attain to its natural growth. There is a beauty in that, there is a whole art of that, but the parallel is something like that has happened to the man. His roots are being cut constantly by the society, by the religions, by the so-called the apparent systems that surrounds us. Religion means nothing has to be destroyed. Nothing has to be cut off. You do not have to be amputed. Everything that you have has to be used in an organic unity. In fact, what you call bad, what you call black, dark, or devil, they all can enhance. They all can enhance what you call divine, white, and good. Always remember, if you have to write something, you need a contrast. You are writing on a blackboard. And if you write with a black ink, it will not show. It has to be written in white. Look at the painter. He uses all the colors. He uses black and white too. He uses the colors to create something immensely beautiful. He gives shades. Everything just has to be in the right place. Go to any school and you will see a blackboard, because to write with the white chalk, a blackboard is needed. It gives the white letters more whiteness. The black background gives more whiteness to the letters that are being written. It creates the contrast. The same word can be written on a whiteboard and they will be lost. You will not be able to see them. Life is a great orchestra and all the instruments have to be used. Your body is an orchestra. Many times I have explained this. When a child is growing in the womb, there is a different kind of sound. That is the percussion sound. And percussion sound is very important to create the background. The bellow instrument that comes from the solar plexus, the wind instruments. Bellow and wind is different. Bellow is a word that by pumping something, air is created. And in wind, you use your inner power to blow out, and out of that, through a hollow pipe with the 7 holes, you create a sound. Wind instrument. Then comes the string instrument, the percussion instrument, the drums, the bellow instruments, the wind instruments, the string instruments. They are all part of your body. The wind instrument is the heart center. The stringed instrument is your throat center and is represented by that throat center and the third eye center. Here one thing is important. We talk about third eye. Is it physical? Is it metaphorical? We have 2 eyes. They are physical eyes. We see through these eyes. It is through these eyes we interact in the outer world of objects and beings. When you transcend these 2 physical eyes beyond, in Akshaya Upanishad, there is a whole art known as Chakshumati Vidya. Chakshu means eyes. Chakshumati Vidya means the whole wisdom of eyes, seeing. When you are, it is said that intuition sometimes we imagine, but the third eye of the master is of a totally different nature. It sees without seeing. It walks without walking. This is transcendence. When you are no more dependent on the physical eyes. Surdas was the blind poet, but the kind of description he has given the childhood. Surdas Krishna does not grow more than the age of 5, and he continues to give the description which the person with wide open eyes cannot see. He sees the things which eyes are incapable of seeing. The kind of beauty magnified is found in the compositions of suttas, is seen nowhere. There is another poet, Ras Khan. He described the youth of Krishna when he is dancing on the bank of the rivers. It is said that Ras Khan wanted to visit the places where Krishna has lived. His master said, "Don't go there. If you go there, you will not be able to return from there." He went on the bank of the Blue River. He said, "There is a big snake, and if he bites you, you can never be able to return." It happened that was the influence of Krishna. Full moonlight, the light of the moon shimmering through the trees on the bank of the Blue River. The river water is shining with the light of the moonlight, and Krishna is dancing with the milkmaids. Is the dance of ecstasy. Is the dance of ecstasy. And Ras Khan, when he went, he got lost into it. His compositions are equally beautiful. He said, "If I be the man again, Manush ho to wahi Ras Khan." Ras, what a beautiful name. Ras means juice. Khan means, not Khan the Muslim Khan. Khan means the mind, the reservoir of juice. Khan is a very beautiful word. One who is the reservoir, the mind of the juices. And he said, "Manush ho to wahi Ras Khan." If I ever be the man, I want to be Ras Khan, who walks and gaily dances on the bank of the river Yamuna. Manush ho to wahi Ras Khan, the same birds, the same trees, same bank of the river Yamuna. I want to be nowhere else. He was so captivated by the beauty of that. But he spoke only of the youth of Krishna, his dances, the Ras Leela. Leela means play. Ras means dance of ecstasy. So when the physical, you are not dependent on the physical eyes. Now you look at it. Krishna happened long ago, long before Ras Khan walked onto that. Many walk on that, but they do not see that beauty which Ras Khan was able to encompass within his compositions, which Ras Khan was able to encompass within his compositions. The beauty that Meera danced with, that is not the expression of the physical eye. When you see beyond seeing, then the third eye is available to you. So we're coming back to the contrast. Life is a great orchestra and all the instruments have to be used. But if you do not know how to play the instruments, then instead of an orchestra, you will simply create a noise. The orchestra has to be tuned in. The percussion instruments have to be tuned in. Everything is to be tuned in with bellow instrument. Now, bellow instrument is symbolized by your solar plexus. Solar plexus, everything. Your lower centers, which is nafs, which is sex centers, the earth center and the water center, which combine together, the masculine and the feminine aspect, forms the aspect of the sex centers. In case of male, the earth center is masculine and the water center is feminine. In case of a female, the opposite happens there. And these two centers, the earth center and the water center, comprise the whole essence of the sex center. So these have to be tuned in with your solar plexus. Solar plexus, what is the purpose of it? It connects you through the bellow effect. When you are breathing in, it is a bellow effect. You breathe in and breathe out. It connects you to through the umbilical cord to mother's womb, and you continue to get nourishment during 9 months of that period when you were in the womb of the mother. And thereafter, now as you grow, as you transcend, you have to be connected once again to the cosmic womb. So your sex centers are tuned in with bellow instrument and through the cosmos, through breathing. And breathing controls, it adjusts the movement of the sex centers and its actions. Then comes the heart center, the kalp. So there is no distortion, there is no suppressed emotions. With solar plexus being active, there is no more suppression of the emotions. Otherwise, in the absence, the emotions are suppressed. So, if you do not know how to play all the instruments, then there will be a noise that happens in human life. Life becomes a nuisance, a noise, neurotic, and becomes unbearable with the period of time. A master musician will put the same instrument in the right place and be used at the right time to create the symphony. When it begins, the orchestra, it begins with bellow instruments, then percussion instrument supports. When percussion instrument supports, this is now at that moment, the flute comes in, followed by the stringed instruments, specifically the sitar and different aspects of veena, to create the symphony of life. Man comes with the ingredient to become an enlightened person, but very few people manage to become, for the simple reason that you start fighting with yourself. Rather than trying to understand all your ingredients, what is the significance of sex, what is the significance of solar plexus, what is the significance of emotions, instead of trying to understand your ingredients and finding ways how to use them so that they can become a beautiful symphony. Religion simply means to put all your separate parts together in oneness. But the religion teaches division. Hindus are separate from Muslims. Muslims are separate from Christians. This is not the way of the religion. Religion simply means to put all your separate parts together in oneness to make a cosmos out of you instead of chaos. Out of your chaos to create a cosmos. It also means that it is an individual process and there is no need for crowd. Hinduism is crowd. You go to a Hindu temple, there is a huge crowd and you are not allowed to do what you are supposed to do. Taj Mahal is a beautiful place. It was created by the Sufis as a device for meditation. Marakba. On a full moonlight, if you can sit down and meditate, but you are not allowed to sit down there. You pass through. When you go to Makkah, Medina, if you wish to sit down and meditate, you are not allowed because you are becoming a part of the crowd. So instead of that, I will carry my vision into that and sit in my place. As you sit down in meditation in front of the Master, the eyes are open. His image is within your eyes. And when you close your eyes, the image is no more visible to you. But it has been in front of your eyes. And you sit down, the process of meditation begins. The same we can do with the shrine, with the religious places, and the kind of energy field you will feel then is much higher than being part of the crowd. Religion means it is an individual process. There is no need for crowd, no need to become part of organized religion, because the organized religions have not produced any enlightened person. Enlightenment happens only as an individual process. The other day I was inquiring from someone of the Chinmaya Mission. The head of the Chinmaya Mission International was Swami Tejomayanand. So I asked the person about his whereabouts. He said he had relinquished the post to enter into his personal sadhana, his individual process of growth. And so he relinquished all the posts and everything. He is a part of the organization but not holding any posts. So religion, so in that he can attain to something, but not as a part of the crowd. No religion has been able to create and awaken. When Buddha abandoned the religion, only then he attained enlightenment. Have you thought about it? All the enlightened persons have to be rebel against the organized religions, and yet still you are very proud of being the part of the organized religion. All the enlightened persons had to rebel against the organized religions, only then they could become enlightened. It seems organized religions are the greatest obstruction, greatest barrier to enlightenment. Lao Tse, Chong Tzu, Gautam Buddha, Bodhidharma, Bal Shen, all these people had to go out of the organized religions for the simple reason that organized religions exist for mob, for crowd. And mob have no desire to become free of their slavery. You see the people in the temple, they are very glad to be the part of the organization, because there they get the status. Someone is aspiring to be the president or the secretary, or to be in the close circle of the priest. There is no desire to become free of their slavery. In fact, they find themselves very cozy and comfortable in their slavery. Freedom creates fear in them. Freedom means responsibility. You are responsible for your own growth. In slavery, you are not responsible. You have to follow the order. You just have to do what the priest says. You have not to find your own truth. You have just to become parrots and repeat your scriptures, the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, the Holy Gita, all these holy scriptures. You do not have to journey inwards. Instead, you have to become only more informed, learned, and more accustomed to the rituals, howsoever meaningless these may be. You have to get accustomed to the rituals, and doing the rituals correctly is your emphasis. Anybody who wants to become enlightened will have many doubts about these rituals, about all these scriptures, about all that is being taught in your religious places by the bishops, by the rabbis, by the Shankaracharyas, by the priests. They are bound to be 1,001 doubts about their teachings. Religion is individual, religion is not organized process. And the most challenging thing in the world is to be an individual. The most challenging thing in the world to be an individual, to live by your own light. But the greater the challenge, the more is the gain. The more you become steel, the more of your potential becomes real. But in organized religion, there is no challenge. Instead, there is only consolations. Those consolations function as opium. They help the crowd not to revolt against the kind of exploitations, superstitions, and against all kind of stupidities in the name of rituals and all these things. In the whole history, not a single organized religions have been able to produce a single enlightened one. If you have come across, you let me know. Those who become enlightened become against the organized religions. They had to become individuals first and rebels. They were tortured, harassed, and condemned because all the forces of torturing people, condemning and harassing were in the hands of the organized religions. In the hands of the organized religions. And the state has always been in conspiracy with the organized religions. They support each other, their aim is the same. The state, the politician wants people to be enslaved physically, and priests, the organized religions wants people to be enslaved mentally, spiritually. And enlightenment is freedom. Freedom in all its dimensions, the physical freedom, the mental freedom, the spiritual freedom. Awakened one is free to speak the way he likes to. Therefore, never bother seeking for another word. There is no need. Religion has all the meanings that are needed in it. Religion has no scripture, no doctrine except a challenge. Religion is a challenge. It has no scriptures, no doctrine. The only challenge that religion has is that you are alive, seek the source of your life. The only meaning of the religion is you are alive, seek the source of life now. Religion is the way to seek the source of life. Religion only provokes the dormant desire to know oneself. If it does not, you are part of organization. It does not give a belief, an idea who you are. It simply provokes the desire to know thyself. Man arfa nafsahu arfa rabbahu. One who has known himself, he has known Allah. And it allows you to be yourself against the entire world. This is the only revolution that there is. Religion is the essence of your being. You are alive now, seek the source of life. Seek the source of life. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.